what's up? How you doing today? Okay, we're gonna jump into worship in just a sec, but before we do, we need to announce everybody's favorite segment of Friday night, Man versus Ham. Come on, somebody. Can we give it up for Man real quick? Can we give it up for Ham real quick? All right, before we do, we want to introduce our reigning World Ham #1, Mr. Abel to Kiss. Get up here. All right. This is our current World Ham #1 champion. He weighs in at a total of 860 grams of ham. Are you ready for the contestant? He has eaten sheep testicles. He has eaten a lot of garlic. And he has eaten like basically everything we've ever thrown at him. Give it up for Tony Osho! Get up here, Tony! All right, Tony, how many grams of ham do you think you're gonna eat tonight? He's saying 1 kilogram, 1 kilogram. All right, we're gonna check in with this guy in a little bit. Tony, you go get started on your ham, and all of you, let's get ready for worship.
What's up, CLC? All right, let's stand up together. If you're online, get off your couch, get off your bed. Let's worship together. Into your eyes makes my heart come alive. Suddenly brought to life when I met you. Reaching beyond the skies, running deep, stretching wide. Perfect love realized here with you. Something's for you, I'll never let go, never let go. Oh, it's more than just let's not be on my control, out of control.
Come on, hands up.
This is real love, this is real love. This is real love, this is real love.
Come on, sing this all together now.
Into your eyes makes my heart come alive. Suddenly brought to life when I met you.
And 1, 2, 3, jump! Come on.
This is real love, this is real love. This is real love, this is real love.
One more time, we sing.
in a long time, so let's see those hands up. Come on.
Be on my phone, but I can't be alone. Welcome to the morning. Trying to be somebody I'm not, but it's not what I want. Tell me there's another way. All of the lights I chased are now fading. All the cheap thrills were only time wasted. Tell me what's the shine of these plans to define who I am. Surely there's a higher way. All of my best friends are sick of pretending. We want the truth. So much is missing, so give us the real thing. I know it's you. Na 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 na. Hey, hey. Na 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 na. I don't want a stereotype to decide who I am. Never knew me better. Over trying to find the next high, 'cause the high never lasts. I'm not going nowhere. All of the lights I chased are now faded. Doing what's right, the times they are changing. Tell me why society's plan should define who I am. Surely there's a higher way. All of my best friends are sick of pretending. We want the truth. Come on. So much is missing, so give us the real thing. I know it's you. All of my best friends are sick of pretending. We want the truth. So much is missing, so give us the real thing. I know it's you. One more time. All of my best friends are sick of pretending. We want the truth. So much is missing, so give us the real thing. I know it's you. I know it's you. Come on, lift it up.
close and he says, I'm here. I'll heal your heart. So remember this.
Here I stand, I surrender and need you now. Hold my heart now and forever, my soul cries out. Here I stand, I surrender and need you now. Hold my heart now and forever, my soul cries out. Here I stand, I surrender and need you now. Hold my heart now and forever, my soul cries out. Here I stand, I surrender and need you now. Hold my heart now and forever, my soul cries out. Once I was broken, but you love my whole heart. See, there's no hold on me, 'cause your grace holds me now. Healed and forgiven. Look when my chains are now. Death has no hold on me, 'cause your grace holds them now. Once I was broken, but you left my whole heart. See, there's no hold on me, 'cause your grace holds me now. Healed and forgiven. Look when my chains are now. Death has no hold on me, 'cause your grace holds that now. Your grace holds me now. Yeah, your grace holds me now. Your grace holds me now. Your grace holds me now.
How you guys doing today? You can have a seat. You can have a seat. Are you guys having a good night so far? It's good. It's good. Who had a good Thanksgiving? Come on. Can we give it up for our worship team one more time, by the way? Are these people not incredible? So good. So good. Listen, here's the thing, all right? I don't know about you guys, but I had a pretty Thanksgiving. I know Ben Greco had a pretty good Thanksgiving, but Chester did not have a very good Thanksgiving. So we actually just want to show you, if we've got that queued up, Ben, what we got up to on Thanksgiving. So let's watch that real quick.
We're going turkey hunting.
We're going turkey hunting.
He's the turkey. I'm the hunting.
All right, dance, turkey boy. Say gobble. Were you recording?
Yeah, I'm still recording.
Oh, Laura didn't catch that.
No, I
You gotta
did.
do it one more time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know if I can do this ethically.
Don't forget to gobble. Okay, so that's just a little snippet, but there's 5 more minutes of Chester getting lit up. So if you want to see that, jump over to Calgary Life Church Youth on YouTube, watch the full video. But this is just episode 1 of a monthly series we're doing called Believe in Youth Health. All right, not believe in yourself, but believe in youth health, because you are the youth and we believe in you. So what we want you to do is submit your dares and we'll do them. All right, give us your dares. Someone someone dared us to get shot with a paintball. And we decided it'd be more fun if Chester was a turkey. But submit your dares. You can just DM us on our 314 Instagram. So, oh my gosh, did I say it wrong? CLC Youth. Shame. But yeah, come DM us on there, and that'll be awesome. But before we get into the next stuff, let's check on the ham. Who wants to see what's going on with the ham? Anybody? All right, let's jump over to the ham cam real quick. How we doing? Hey, Laura.
Hello. Can you see us?
You look wonderful today.
Hi, can you see us?
I can see you.
Yes.
We can see the
Okay.
bottom
Can
2/3
you
of Tony.
see- Oh, Tony, sit down for a minute so they can see you. Tony, how you feeling?
I'm all right.
He
He's
says
all
he's
right.
doing all right.
Okay.
I want you guys to see how much ham he's eaten, so I'm gonna bring this a little closer. Is
Yeah,
that
let's
okay,
see it.
team?
Let's give a visual.
Close up.
Let's see the other side of the ham. Show us the other side. No, the other side. Yeah, that's, whoa! There we go. Tony is putting in work, you guys. Tony is putting in
That's a lot of
work.
ham.
All right.
That's a lot of ham he's eaten.
Laura specifically asked me not to make her weigh it right
But
now
we can.
because
We can
math
weigh
is
it
really
because
hard.
Tony's good at math, he said.
We'll weigh it in a little bit. We'll weigh it
Okay.
in a little bit. But I would say Tony's doing pretty good. Tony, we'll check up on you again in a little bit. Can we give it up for Tony, everybody? Nice. All right, well, before we get into the message today, I've got a couple other announcements I want to share with you guys real quick. The first thing is in 2 weeks, it is Halloween, okay? Come on. What we're doing here at Youth, we got 2 exciting things going on that night, okay? Number 1, we have a costume contest, all right? So bring out your best costume. Let me tell you what you'll win, all right? If you are voted second place in our costume contest, you, my friends, will go home with a ham. Come on, somebody. Who wants a ham? Anybody want a ham? If you come in first place, you are going home with something better than a ham. That's all I'm going to tell you right now, all right? If you get second place, you get a ham. If you come in first place, you get something better than a ham, all right? So come out dressed in your coolest, awesomest costume, and we're excited for that. Second thing about that day, okay? We want you to bring a friend. All right? I'm sure that we all have friends who haven't been out on a Friday night before. If you bring a friend, every single person who brings a friend gets to shoot a youth leader with paintballs. All right? So if you bring a friend, we will take you out to the back of the parking lot after the service, and you get to light up one of us. I don't know who you want to shoot. Maybe you want to shoot Chester. Maybe you want to shoot Ben. Maybe you want to shoot Abel. You probably want to shoot Abel. If I was you, I'd want to shoot Abel. Or Ray. I'd want to, Ray? Ray, thoughts on that? Maybe. Ray's going to leave. No, what about me? Sarah, yes, definitely Sarah. But if you want to light up some leaders with paintballs, just bring a friend. That's all you got to do. Everyone who brings a friend gets to shoot us. And the last thing I want to mention is YCG. Anybody know what a YCG is? It is a youth connect group. So we got 3 groups meeting this week. Okay, on Monday we have tabletop board games with Ben and Chester. All right, that's gonna be fun. Monday night tabletop board games. On Tuesday night we have art. Anybody like art? Yeah, I like art. Art is fun with Sabrina and Melissa. All right, and then on Thursday night we have art again. This time with EJ. Where's EJ at? EJ, give everyone a wave. There's EJ. EJ is very talented. He made that. So if you want to learn how to do stuff like that, get around a guy like EJ. But without any further ado, can we please stand up on our feet? And can we give it up for our speaker tonight, Mr. Chester Gibb?
Hey, thank you. Y'all can be seated. Whew. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Just bring one friend and then don't choose me. I really don't want to get shot again. It doesn't feel comfortable. You see behind the scenes, I started bleeding. Paintball's not fun, and paintball's not fun getting shot at. So remember, the other leaders, Abel, we have Ray, we have Ben, we have everyone but me. Just don't shoot me, please. But anyways, oh, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just so excited to be back on stage. I I want to tell y'all something funny. I was actually supposed to speak at Youth all the way back in January, and then I was just caught with a really heavy cold. I think my idea is exactly, I was patient zero. I got sick for an entire month, and within that month, I could not even open my eyes. It was crazy. And then I got so sick that the next month, I got something called necrotizing ulcerative gingivitis in my mouth. Because I was so sick, my body got angry at me, and so then I was bleeding out of my mouth for a whole month. I lost 23 pounds. It was insane. And then the next month, I was like, this is it. This is it. I'm healed. I am fine. I'm going to speak at Youth. I'm so excited. And then that month was March. And March everything decided to shut down. But I'm back. I'm fired up, and I'm excited to preach to y'all today. The topic that I'm going to speak about today is self-esteem. Do y'all remember that we are in the series of self-esteem? We had 2 weeks ago, we had Laura. She spoke on that. And then last week we had small groups. If y'all follow our Instagram page, CLC Youth, you'll see some of the memes that have been brought up about that. My favorite one is where the guy is dabbing, and then the second slide is just him crying inside of his dab. That was my favorite one. But see, self-esteem was a really interesting topic to talk about. Is that a lot of the times Laura brought it up and would talk about the greatness that God was put inside of us. In small groups, we talked about our insecurities and how we could break through them. But I think a very powerful thing that tends to eat in our self-esteem a lot is the mistakes we make. I think that mistakes can stick with us, and they can begin to label us and make us feel bad about ourselves. But what I want to talk about is how to get past it. I want to give you guys tangible advice straight from the Bible about how to work with mistakes, how to get through them, and become a new person and be renewed in Christ. And the Bible story that I'm going to dive into for that is for Abraham and Sarah. Do you guys know this story? This one's not talked about too much. Father Abraham, don't sing it, but I get, yeah, no, I get it. Don't sing it. Well, that was really good. Wow, worship team, let's go. Let's get it, worship team. Thank you for breaking my stride. I like that. But anyways, the Bible passes Abraham and Sarah, and I'll give you some context about the whole thing that's going on. Abraham, oh, by the way, in this Bible passage, I'll be reading from Genesis, but Abraham back in the past was Abram, and then his wife Sarah back in the day was Sarai, but I'll just keep calling them Abraham and Sarah just to make it easy. But God promised Abraham that he was going to have a son. You guys know the song, don't sing it, but it's Abraham was promised sons, many sons. He was going to rule a whole nation filled with his family and his legacy. And so that was bomb. They were super excited. And then goes 10 years. Then goes 10 more years. Then goes 10 more years. Then goes 10 more years. And Abraham is 80 years old. And Abraham is looking at his wife. His wife has nothing. There's nothing going on. And he's just like, hey, you know what? I feel like there's an issue. I'm 80 years old. I don't know the most optimal time to have a kid. I don't think it's now. But God did say that we were going to have a kid, so I think we're supposed to have a kid. So anyways, TV land, if you could put it up, I'll dive into Genesis 16, 1-4. This is going to be the NIV, and now it says, now Sarai, Abraham's wife, had borne him no children, but he had an Egyptian slave named Hagar. So she said to Abram, the Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my slave. Perhaps I can build a family through her. And you know that Abraham was like, you want me to sleep with her? And Sarah was just so she was so set upon the idea that as long as she had a kid, she could work with it. You know, she just believed that she could create God's own blessing with her own hands. And so Abraham did the only thing that he knew was right. He's like, okay, yeah, I'll sleep with her, no problem. I'll make that happen. Don't gotta tell me twice, baby. I got it. So we'll, we'll dive into the next part. Abraham agreed to what Sarah said. After Abraham had been living in Canaan for 10 years, Sarah took his wife to her Egyptian slave, Hagar, and gave her to her husband to be his wife. He slept with Hagar, and she conceived. When she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress. Long story short, Abraham and Sarah may have made a mistake. And this mistake is, show of hands, who decided to let their husband sleep with another? Oh, okay, just wondering. I had to double check. But this mistake was crazy. This mistake was so wild, so lavish. But I came to read this story and I was just like, that's the wildest mistake. I don't understand how someone would make such a mistake. There's so many levels onto how wrong this is. It's not going to work out. But how many times are we put in that position ourselves? How many times do we go with the crowd and make fun of that weird kid, but then realize that weird kid is going through hell in their family and they have nobody to support them? How many times do we lash out in anger? We're short-tempered, and we realize that we broke something that's not so easily mended. How many times do we decide to look at that person that absolutely nobody is saying is a good idea and be like, that could happen. I could be with that one. I can change them. They can be mine. I can try it. But that's another message. And what I'm trying to get at is I'm not trying to condemn you guys. The last thing I want to do is make you guys feel bad about the mistakes that you dealt with. But I want to reiterate a powerful tagline that says, restorative measures will always be better than restorative. I'll say that one more time. Preventive measures will always be better than restorative measures. And, thank you. That's not even my word. I'll tell you who that is later on. But my point one is I only have 3 points to my message. So I want to make sure you guys take it into your own hearts. It's literally 3 points. You can write it down real fast, and that's the brunt of my message. But my first point is this. If what you're doing does not align with God's purpose, it can never deliver his promises into your life. I'll say that one more time to make sure you guys jot that down. If you decide to not align with God's purpose, it will never deliver the promises for your life. Now let me give you a quick analogy. You guys wouldn't realize because I have the body of a great God. But let's say back in junior high, I think I was about 5'1", so like an inch shorter than I am now. And I was 5'1", and I weighed 238 pounds. So I rolled to school. I didn't walk. But there was some point in my lifetime where I was like, hey, you know what? This isn't me. I'm a better myself. I'm become a new man. I'm gonna do this for myself. I'm gonna get healthy, and I'm gonna do it the right way. Honestly, I just thought a girl was cute, and I thought she'd like me if I was thinner, so I just decided to work out one summer. But basically what I did was not healthy whatsoever. Within that summer, 2-month span, I lost, I think, 58 pounds. 2 months. Don't clap, because after those 2 months, I realized I couldn't even stand up without fainting. I realized that I was not looking healthy whatsoever. I realized that I was eating 1 bowl of rice and an apple a day, and I was not doing my body right. I ruined my health. What I did was I made a shortcut to what I believed was where I was supposed to be. And I think a lot of the time, that's where we get stuck. We know that there's this almighty great thing, being super healthy, being loved, having a good community to be with. But we don't feel it right away, and we don't have it, so we go through shortcuts. We go through shortcuts to try to attain those things that we do not currently have, and that just leaves us so much worse than we were. Sure, I lost that 58 pounds, but I was left much more unhealthy than I was before. But that's because I took that shortcut. And right at the subtitle of the point one is, I strongly believe that our shortcomings come from us choosing our own direction over our God-given destiny. I'll say that one more time. On the top point, it's going to be, I strongly believe that our shortcomings come from us choosing our own direction over God's destiny. And thank you. That's point one. I got more to go for you. I got two more to go. But it was hard to take in, but I realized so many people get caught into peer pressure and do something stupid when they realize they just needed some security. They needed community. They needed to feel a sense of belonging. I know that some people lash out in anger when things don't go in their way, but what they really need is peace that transcends all understanding. They need that at that moment, but they choose a different route because that's what they choose to go at the time. There's those people that decide to go from relationship after relationship just to find love when you realize that you need to start loving yourself before you can love someone fully. But that's another message. I'll leave that one for later again. But we are left in this state where we are struggling, and therefore we choose a path that is less desired by God. And because of that, we can never attain God's promises, God's blessings into our lives because we never followed his directions in the first place. What we thought would be a shortcut would bring us so much more farther than we were destined to be. And so, again, I'm not ripping you guys. I'm not trying to get at you guys messed up. You guys will never come back, but I want to try to get in you guys' head is that preventative measures are always going to be better than restorative measures. And what do I mean by that? I do believe that myself. Restorative measures would be like if I told you that that campfire was mad hot. Don't put your hand in it. You'd be like, okay, I won't put my hand in the fire. That's it. Restorative measures would be some dude put his hand in the fire for fun. It started burning, and then there's a healing process. So simply preventative is just easier than restorative because it's faster, because you get to the point straight away without any of the hurt. But I want you guys to know that restorative is possible. Restorative can always happen through Christ and through you wanting it. I want you to know that even though you already committed a mistake, there is definitely hope for you to get through it. Which brings me to my second point. Number 2, past problems will continue to affect your self-esteem until you see them as potential for progression. One more time. Past problems will continue to affect your self-esteem until you see them as potential for progression. I think Pastor Chance the Rapper said it best in his message, Best Life, featuring Cardi B. Don't recommend the song, but I'll just say the lyrics anyway. He says, "Turned all my L's into lessons." And I like that. The rest of the song is bad. Don't listen to it. I don't recommend it. As a leader, I cannot say that I recommended that song to you, but that one line right there, I can recommend. Turn all my L's into lessons. What does that mean? It says in Hebrews 10:36, you need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what he has promised. It says in another translation, patient endurance is what you need now. In the book of Hebrews, it highlights that God does not like sin either. He hates sin. But he does not underline, he does not hate you. He hates the sin that has been done. And the beautiful thing about God is that he loved us so much that he sent down his very own son to deal with the sins that we have committed and will commit in the future with no strings attached. He did it out of love, and he did it out of his affection towards you guys. And so we need to move forward and begin walking in God's will to receive all that he's promised. Our sin does not disqualify us from the greatness that God has put on us. But our sin manifests out of when we walk outside of God's path. And if we do not follow the correct path, we can never go where we're meant to go. If I was a person said that I just want to simply go to McDonald's, that's just right over there, I'll walk for 2 minutes and decide, let me just go this way. I'll never reach it. If anything, I'll go farther than what I was aiming for because I chose to take a path that God did not set out for me. We go back to my analogy. If I just decided to get a personal trainer, decide to start eating more healthy, make sure that I watched how much water I drank, I would have got healthy the right way, and I probably would have not been fainting. I probably would have not looked sickly. I probably would have attained the health that I truly wanted without getting that shortcut that set me back that much more years. However, if God can do it, I believe that we can forgive ourselves for the shortcomings that we make as well. And I know it's not easy. I know you get peer pressure into doing something that you didn't want to do, you can get through it. In the same sense that we'll jump back to the Bible story of Abraham. He made a mistake. He decided to go through with this idea that Sarah had, and it was both of them. Let me just say it was the both of them. It was not one other person influencing. They both made that decision together, and then they made that mistake. But Abraham in that story worked with it. He decided that he was gonna take up on what he did and take ownership. He decided to father that child that he had. He decided to develop the relationship that they were gonna begin, and he grew up well. He grew up feeling the love that he had from his father due to the fact that he chose to do so. He said that he's going to make it through. He said that he was going to take his L's into lessons. He decided that he was not going to let past problems continue to affect his self-esteem. And let me go right back here. If you do manage to get peer pressured one time and make a mistake, you got to reflect on that. What's the lesson that you can take out of that? What's the progression that you can get from that shortcoming and move forward? Maybe that's not the group that you should be chilling with anyway. Maybe you should decide to get a short temper on someone. You should figure out the root problem as to why that triggered you anyway. There's probably something deeper as to why that specific action they performed ate at you. Rather than just keep doing the same mistake over and over again, breaking relationships, you can decide, hey, out of all the anger that has popped up over this time, there's one common denominator, and that's me. There's something within this situation that keeps breaking me. Maybe you go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, realizing that it keeps failing. It's not working, that there's an issue. Well, again, maybe the common denominator of all those relationships is you. Maybe there's something in you that needs to be worked upon. I'll let that marinate a little bit, but I won't dive into that anymore. And when you deal with those tough mistakes, I know for me, I try to put myself in a certain standard. And then when I mess up, it eats at me. I keep asking myself, why did I do that? Hey, I go to church all the time. I know the principles, so why did I decide to say that to that person? Why did I decide to not say something to that person? But that brings me to the final and third point that I have. What do we do when the same problem comes back to us? I want to dive into the passage one more time at Genesis 21, 8-14. And it says, the child grew and was weaned. And on the day that Isaac was weaned, Abraham held a great feast. But Sarah saw that the son whom Hagar the Egyptian had borne to Abraham was mocking. And she said to Abraham, get rid of that slave woman and her son, for that woman's son will never share an inheritance with my son Isaac. The matter distressed Abraham greatly because it concerned his son. At the end of the day, Abraham tried to make amends, but it was still there. It was still affecting his relationship, his marriage. And it says, but God said to him, do not be so distressed about the boy and your slave woman. Listen to whatever Sarah tells you, because it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned. I will make the son of the slave into a nation also, because he is your offspring. Early the next morning, Abraham took some food and skin of a water and gave them to Hagar. He set them on her shoulders and then sent her off with the boy. She went on her way and wandered into the desert of Bathsheba. There's two things significant that Abel did within that passage that I want to bring up. One is he woke up early to do the deed, and two, he sent them off with blessing. And that's what my final point is going to be, and that's where I want to hone it into. The third point is a lot less words than the previous ones. It is fight to forgive and be a blessing. When we make mistakes, be quick to forgive yourself, no matter how hard it may be. It may be a new mistake, or it may be one you've made before. But if God has already forgiven you, what makes you think it's so hard to forgive yourself? God sees you so beautifully, and so should you. These mistakes do not need to define who you are and who you're going to be if you decide that you take ownership of it. You realize the mistake you've done. You speak it out. I want the next time that you goof up, you go back home. I want you to assess your heart. I want you to realize what you just did and what can you do to better yourself because of it. Because it doesn't have to be that way. When we make this, and the other tough one is when we make mistakes, just like Abraham, and then come to terms with it and live on our lives. It gets hard when we affected someone else. When we make a mistake, when we decide to cancel someone because they goofed up, when we decide to mock someone because they didn't surmount to what is cool, we affected someone else. And that's where the second half of my third point is: be a blessing. The same way that Abraham woke up early, he was quick with what he did. Be quick to forgive. He was also a blessing. He gave them food. He gave them water. He helped them pack up. And he set them out just right. What I need you to do is, for all the mistakes you've ever done, all the mistakes that you've done to other people, be the best blessing you can be. Have a hard conversation if that's need to be done. Go out of your way to pray for that person. Though it may sound ridiculous that you're praying for the person that you hurt. Pray that they find peace. They can forgive you later, but if they find peace within themselves, forgiveness will come as well. And that comes with forgiving you as first. And so, when Abraham decided to wake up early, to send Hagar out because he knew that it would affect his marriage for time to come, and he didn't want that. It was hard. He didn't want to do it. But he made it happen quickly. He woke up early in the morning. He forgave for what he's done with it inside his heart, and then he set him up for a blessing. What he did after that is he decided to not cover his mistake. Though it may come so easy sometimes for us to say, you know what, it wasn't that bad of what I did. I'll just make sure I don't do it again, and it's whatever. I'll just not talk to that guy again. He won't like me anyways. It doesn't need to be brought up again. No. Those mistakes fester. Those mistakes become debilitating. Those mistakes become a struggle that you have to deal with every single day because you decide to hide it. But what I'm telling you tonight, CLC Youth, is that if you own up to it, God can help you at that moment to walk right back to His will. God promised us peace when we decide to break down and get angry. God promised us love, security, and support when we feel like we're alone. God knows that you're loved and how important you are, that you do not have to find your definition, your value, your worth through another person. You're a whole person. You're one with God, and you're beautiful, you're powerful. What I'm telling you right now is that your mistakes will never label who you are, because God labeled you Himself. I'll dive one more time back into my analogy. What happened after I decided to lose 58 pounds and I started fainting? I decided to look sickly. I decided to make all these terrible health choices. I owned up to it. I knew where I fell short, and I decided to follow people who knew what they were doing. I decided to follow what people wrote down, these specific steps on what to do to effectively turn my life around. And by that, I gained more muscle than I ever did before. I maintained better than I did before, and I have never been healthier. In the same sense, thank you. In the same sense, there's God. There's situations that will come up that you don't know what to do. There's mistakes that you'll make that you'll immediately regret, but realize that God has a plan with that too. We sing it all the time that He'll turn our struggles for good. He can do that as well. God is the God of restorative power. Restorative is not the easy way, but He can do it. He'll take you as you are, He'll love you for everything that you will become, and He will make you exactly what He destined you to be. But that starts with you. If you do what you can, if you go out there and work on the mistakes that you've made, if you do not let your past define who you were, God will do the rest. Whatever seems impossible, God will provide in your life where you could simply not. And He'll make you exactly what you were destined to be. And so I want everyone to close their eyes real quick. This angle that I took with self-esteem can hit a lot of people's heartstrings, because I know that everyone makes mistakes, and if you didn't, you probably will make one next week. And I'm not trying to hit on y'all whatsoever. I gave you simple advice of preventative measures that will help you tackle when mistakes may arise, and I gave you restorative measures of how to get through it as well. But if you're still hurt, if there's something in your heart that hurts, you know you made a mistake, and now you just continuously label yourself you're not good enough, do you realize what you just did? He's gonna hate you forever. She will never see you again in the exact same way. I want to break those down right now. If you are feeling that way, if you made a mistake that is just so hard to own up to and it keeps eating in your heart, I want you to raise your hand. Not for me, not for everyone else in the room. It's just you and God. I see hands all over the place. I want that to be a declaration tonight. I want that hand raised, be a symbol, be a command that past mistake is not who you are, and it will never be who you are. In the exact same sense that God gave His Son, His entire life, His entire being, to soak up all that sin that you did, because He loves you, you can do it as well. So I want to pray over those people that are struggling with their self-esteem right now. They made that mistake that they never want to make. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to raise up each and every youth that are dealing with heartstrings that are attacking them. I'm praying for the ones that feel like they just did too much and they can't recover. I want to pray for the ones that hurt. Lord, you say in your Bible over and over again that we are beautifully and wonderfully made. That our sins are not who we are, but it's who created us that makes the final saying. And I pray, Lord, that you muster up their hearts so that they can tackle the past mistake they made. That they learn that what they created, the problem that they manifested, can be used for progression. It could make them better than who they ever were, who they ever thought they would be. And Lord, I pray that they let go of it. I pray that they take the right steps to feel whole again, Lord. I pray that they turn back, that they start walking in your will again, Lord, that they start making amends of the things that they've broken down, and that they start following everything that you laid out for them, Lord, because they are beautiful. They do not have to have low self-esteem, Lord, because you built them so powerfully. Every mistake will become a lesson. They'll become stronger. They'll become wiser. And they'll finally get to that part where they forgive themselves for every mistake they've ever done and every mistake they're going to do. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. And one more prayer is that I just downloaded a huge Bible story to you guys, and some of you may be here for the first time and not know what the Bible is all about. It's about this wonderful man named Jesus. It's this love note written down just for us to realize all the greatness that was in store. So I want you to close your eyes one more time. If you came here, whether it was your first time here, whether you've been coming for years, and whether you decided to walk away from your faith, I want you to reignite something special. I want you to know that God always has an open door. You walk right in, let Him into your heart, and watch things move. So I want you guys to repeat this next prayer after me. Hey God, I know I make mistakes. I know I mess up. But God, you're always there. You never left me. I am not my sin. I am yours. And I pray tonight that I start walking down the path that brings me greatness. I pray that I realize the greatness that was always in me. Lord, I accept you into my heart. Make me new. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. There we go. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, y'all. See, back in the past, I maybe up till like the first 18 years of my life, I dealt with low self-esteem forever. I do things that were dumb, and I do things that I realized later on was not the best move. But you just keep trucking through. Those mistakes become a gateway for you to speak into people that are dealing with them as well. You can only teach someone to go as far as you've gone yourself. And so the last thing that I want to say for you guys is those mistakes that you gave up to God today, learn to get through them. Walk through that fire and come out the other side not even smelling like it. You are going to be an example. You are going to be this wonderful light, this wonderful person that is going to be brought upon someone that is struggling with that own individual issue, and you can speak life into them. You can be a vessel of who God is and His love to that person. So keep trucking on and keep making it happen. And for the people that decided to let God into their hearts once again, I'm proud of you as well. Well, I think that's everything. Do you guys have one final song?
All right, CLC Youth, why don't you guys stand up? We're gonna end with one last song. Come on.
I close my eyes and colors fly. There's no hiding from your grace. I can't deny your heart from mine, and it's unrelenting chase. I was on the edge of deception, caught up in my own hesitation, until your love took over me. So I let go, and I let love show me life like it's supposed to be. And oasis, it oasis, all the freedom I'll ever need. Now I'm alive, alive, alive.
Okay, Tony, can you hear us?
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Hey, Ben, how's he doing in there?
Well, Tony,
The
how many
way-
times have you thrown up?
2? No! Tony, you've thrown up
Okay,
2 times.
we're gonna give you the final score.
This is the final. He's not eating anymore.
All right.
We need a drum roll.
So, for reference,
Drum roll.
Abel, come in here for a sec. Abel, come in here.
Oh, wait, pause the drum roll. Pause the drum roll.
Okay.
This is Abel.
2 weeks ago, Abel ate 860 grams of ham.
Okay, 860.
Tony has just eaten 1,687 grams of ham. We have a new world ham #1. Tony, how do you feel right now?
That's so much ham.
Yeah. I'm just like I puked and now I feel better.
Tony, would you say that throwing up was an advantage?
It was the best thing that happened.
It was the best thing that happened.
Best thing ever.
All right, let's give it up for Tony, everybody.
Good job. Give it up for Tony. Let's do one more.
All right, we'll do one more.
Staring into your eyes makes my heart come alive. Suddenly brought to life when I met you. Vision beyond the skies, running deep, stretching wide. Perfect love realized here with you. This love is for real, you will never let go, never let go. Oh, it's more than just words, love beyond my control, out of control.
Everybody's hands up.
This is real love, this is real love. This is real love, this is real love. You got me, you got me. This love is for real, you will never let go, never let go. Oh, it's more than just words, love beyond my control, out of control. You're pulling me closer and closer, holding my heart till the very end. Jesus, I'm found in your freedom. This is real love, this is real love. Closer and closer, holding my heart till the very end. Jesus, I'm found in your freedom. This is real love, this is real love.
Actually, I want you guys to sing it out. Come on.
Staring into your eyes makes my heart come alive. Suddenly brought to life when I met you.
In 1, 2, 3, jump.
This is real love. This is real love. This is real love. This is real love.
guys, we don't have another song prep for you guys. So, take care. Deuces. See y'all Sunday. See y'all next Friday. But definitely Sunday.